smells like butt. It's like a mix of fireworks and butt.
Ew.
I know, right?
It's the worst combination.
Right?
This is the cauldron.
Yeah.
So this is not dragon's mouth.
No.
I want dragon's mouth. Our journey continued into Wyoming on our way to Yellowstone National Park. By this point, Mom was somewhat upset by the lack of interesting wildlife, as she'd really wanted to see a bear before we got back home, where, ironically, there was actually a bear on the loose. To remedy this, we started getting footage of every animal we came across, with mixed results.
Ew, he's pooping. Get a picture of the pooping bison. Hurry, he's gonna be done soon. He's not.
Oh god.
He's gonna keep pooping forever.
Why am I recording this?
He's a lot of poop. He's a bison.
I'm so sorry.
Finally, after a mudslide detour and a very random town to stay the night in, we managed to reach Yellowstone. I'd always pictured it as a big open field like most city parks, with a huge geyser in the middle of it that people just stood around and watched erupt. In reality, it was about a 30-mile around tourist attraction, made up of various smaller geysers, restaurants, and gift shops, before you even get to the infamous Old Faithful. While it was more car time between stops than I would have expected, the views themselves were really cool. And really smelly.
This looks and smells like the biggest smoke bomb went off. It's kind of disgusting, but awesome. Wow. Foggy.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like a hot tub for pigs. This next geyser is called Dragon's Mouth. And with a name that cool, it better be pretty awesome. Oh man, it makes dragon sounds and everything. Listen to that.
It wasn't long, though, before we reached the visitor center that was also home to Old Faithful. Unfortunately, a storm had been looming all day, and it chose the moment before the geyser was due to erupt to rear its ugly, icy head. After waiting about 5 minutes for the geyser to erupt, we were forced to run back into the visitor center as my video camera and my bald head were both exposed and being barraged by icy rain. And maybe it was just due to our vantage point, but Old Faithful was actually one of the more disappointing geysers we saw that day. Although it was pretty funny watching everyone run inside as soon as it started to die down. It was still a photo-worthy event though, so we stopped for a moment before heading on to find a better climax for our adventure through Yellowstone National Park.
Old Faithful is kind of disappointing because we got rained out. So this is actually our last geyser stop. It's supposed to be really colorful, and it already looks awesome. But I'm not sure we'll actually be able to see anything in there. So we're gonna find out. Okay, I really like that they feel the need to put up something about no drones allowed in this park. It's just a sign of the times, I guess, but it's pretty amusing.
We ended up at a controlled path through a series of smaller geysers, with the main event being the Grand Prismatic Spring, which is supposed to be the most colorful and largest geyser in the entire park.
I can't see anything in my glasses. I know! It's so blue. I feel like that'd be like a hot tub, but possibly acidic. Weird.
A bucket or something. Sure.
It's a cool view just out there too.
Yeah, it is.
Pictures certainly made it look beautiful, but it also ended up being disappointing due to the ridiculous amount of fog coming from it, blocking any good view of the actual geyser. Unfortunately, the path that was created here was entirely flat, except for the ramp to get up to the hill in the first place. And while there could have been some safety restrictions at play here, I feel like the vista would have benefited from an elevated path over the spring, like they show in the pictures.
I don't think that's gonna help.
It's just not very colorful right now.
Well, you can't see it because there's too much steam.
Oh, back there. Okay.
Yeah, it's way back
I was
there.
looking at this stuff here.
Oh, there was also an empty Sarlacc pit, so that's kind of scary. While the thick fog we passed through to head out seemed like it was leading to Silent Hill, the place we ended up reaching next was much weirder. Wyoming might be a northern state, but the cabin we stayed at in Cody was firmly planted in southern roots.
So we just got to our cabin in Cody, and this place is super cowboy. Like, check out this lamp. It's a cowboy boot lamp. Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's a nice place, but I didn't realize Wyoming was this country. Probably should have, though. But yeah. Cowboy lamp. That's all I gotta say.
We took the next day to just explore Cody, a city known for its historical roots as the home of Buffalo Bill. We explored the Buffalo Bill Dam Visitor Center, overlooking the dam itself, which, fun fact, helps power the Spirit Mountain power plant nearby. Science is fun. Next stop was an old town that was literally uprooted and rebuilt in that spot, using all the original materials. It was mostly just a collection of old-fashioned trinkets and some cool historical facts, but we still found plenty of fun there.
And 2-headed cow. Look at these old iPads. Like, what kind of apps can you even get on that thing?
Gangrene, apparently.
Yep. This dude ate the livers of Indians, right? Yeah. He ate the livers of Indians. Look. He doesn't even seem ashamed of himself. He's like, yeah, I did it. What you gonna do? Ah, that ram looks pissed. Look at that thing. It's like an Uruk-hai. Some goons. Being held up by hooves. I guess it's fitting. They were probably used to kill those animals.
Yeah.
Little sadistic, though.
Yeah, that is pretty sadistic.
Make a gun hanger out of these hooves.
Yeah.
Shoot you with this gun, and I'm gonna cut off your hooves and use it to hold my gun.
Hooves.
Hooves.
That's Jeff Bridges.
It's not Jeff Bridges.
It's kind of Jeff Bridges.
It's not Jeff Bridges. It's Cowboy Jeff Bridges.
Okay, this saloon is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
This is very cool.
Let's see where they put this at the end. This is probably
Yeah.
the first one.
Yeah,
Well, it's what you normally see, like in movies and stuff. You
yeah.
always see
The old
old-timey
west,
saloon.
old saloons.
And a butt.
Cody had some weird things too, though, including multiple large collections of antlers. Oh, and this awesome ram statue. Just hanging out in public. Yep. We finished exploring the town and settled into our cowboy cabin for the night, before getting an early start the next day for South Dakota. But first, we had to make it back through the deep fog of Silent Hill, which Cody might be the inspiration for now that I think of it.
Man, Mount Rushmore is less impressive than I thought it was.
In South Dakota, we ended up at the always required road trip destination, Mount Rushmore. While it was cool to say that we've been there, it was certainly not the highlight of the trip, and the faces were actually way smaller and further off in the distance than I had expected. Then again, Richie Rich is my main point of reference. It was still a great moment to have for scrapbooks, or video blogs, and I even got to secretly add my face to the prototype in the sculptor's workshop. What came next, though, was easily a highlight of the trip for me, the Badlands. A beautiful expanse of nature rivaling the size of Yellowstone National Park, but even more visually appealing. It seemed like in every corner was some unique detail to marvel at, and sometimes even an animal hidden randomly in the background, like a nature version of Where's Waldo.
And go to the mountain. That's ridiculous. That is the epitome of mountain goat. I think the Badlands are named after this scary guy. Everything else seems so calm, but he's terrifying.
The views just kept amazing us as we went on, though, with every canyon, ridge, and valley more beautiful than the last. It was all so peaceful and serene. I wonder how it even got the name Badlands. I mean, it was more like the Calm Lands, am I right? Enough! Anyway, It was also home to various animals, most importantly, entire fields full of prairie dogs that turned all of us into squealing little kids. Seriously, it's a little embarrassing.
Prairie dogs, they're so cute. Look at them. He's so fat. Look at how fat it is. Oh, his little tail. Oh, they're prancing. They're buddies. It's so cute. Oh my god. Oh, his tail. Oh, they're just hanging out together. It's so cute. Did we put one in the car?
No.
Are you sure?
I'll tell you what, if you catch it, we'll put it in the car.
Okay. Okay. Deal.
Between the three of us, we can totally catch one.
Oh, this is adorable.
Entire field of adorable.
I'm so glad I have good zoom.
Soon the sun started to go down and the landscape lit up even more with the colors of the sun-kissed sky. Unfortunately, that also meant we were slowly losing light, and before long it was time to say goodbye to the Badlands and start the long trek across the remaining states between us and home. The Badlands will always stay with me, though, as one of the most beautiful places in the United States, and certainly the most beautiful that I've ever seen. In fact, as we put it in our rear view and started toward home, I had a hard time looking away and accepting that we'd soon be back to our same old landscapes. I was happy to finally get back home, though. The car had worn on me, and I missed my little family, who were all eager to greet me, as well as multiple boxes left from work, reminding me I'd be back to the grind soon. I had to just take a moment to just rest and watch them play. Not quite ready for my vacation to be over.